The Collectors. Chapter 8. 30 minutes later, Remy stood once again at the flooded pond, this time with the girl cradled in his arms and Doug standing at his side.
This the place?
Doug asked as he walked to the water's edge. Remy nodded. Upon hearing of his encounter earlier in the day, Doug had had nothing but questions. Questions that seemed to be more trolling in Remy's opinion than serious. But Doug had been relentless in his questioning about the event, asking things that Remy had no idea how to answer. What kind of bridge was it? Was there a clear view through? What was the air like? Finally, Remy had snapped at him to go and look for himself, and Doug immediately agreed, demanding to be shown the place. A field trip Remy wanted absolutely no part of. Remy had tried to just give the man directions and send him on his way, but Doug kept talking about how that wouldn't work because reasons Remy couldn't understand. And it wasn't that Doug didn't try to explain his reasoning. It was just that he kept trying to explain using words Remy understood as terms he had no understanding of. Finally, the younger boy just gave in, figuring that it would be better going with someone who actually had a clue about what was happening. And maybe, this time, he would actually be able to send Lucendo on her way. His phone was vibrating in his pocket again. He ignored it. This was the 4th time. He was going to be in so much trouble when he got home.
Okay, open the bridge.
Doug said, still turned away from Remy as he surveyed the wetlands in front of him. Remy didn't move from where he stood, several paces behind Doug, away from the water. What do you mean?
What do you think I mean?
Doug said, looking over his shoulder at Remy.
Call up the bridge.
Okay. How do I do that?
What?
The bridge just usually appears. I don't really do anything special.
You don't...
Doug turned to face Remy with a huff, hands landing on his hips as he seemed to gather patience for himself.
Do you have a routine? Something you do or say every time you find yourself with a spirit to lead? Your key is probably hidden in there somewhere.
You're saying words like you expect me to understand them again.
Brick, could you put a little effort in, please?
I don't know. I usually just say that the bridge is there and then it is. Remy's gaze skipped beyond Doug's shoulder and lighted on the familiar bridge floating in the water. Remy nodded his chin toward it. There you go. I didn't realize that was all it took. Doug spun around and spotted the bridge. He turned back to Remy with a frown, crunching his brows together.
That's your key?
The man asked in disbelief. I guess.
It just comes that easy.
Is it supposed to be hard? The older man continued to watch him for a time, hands still planted on hips as he considered Remy. What? Remy shouted, unconsciously gripping the spirit in his arms more tightly. Doug didn't do anything for a moment, but then nodded, seeming to decide something for himself. What? Remy demanded again.
After this, we are calling Fagin. You need a master immediately.
Who's Fagin?
The local guild head. She sorts these kind of things out. Not that I think we've had this kind of thing in the past.
He muttered the last part as he ran a hand through his hair. I never agreed to be part of your little club, Remy snapped.
What, so you're just planning on doing what you've been doing? Because that's been working so well for you?
It's not like you've been helpful, so what's the difference?
I'm not a master. More importantly, I'm not your master.
Then why didn't you just leave me alone when you saw me on the corner?
You looked like you needed help.
And yet you've continually refused to give me any help.
I've
done absolutely nothing but make me feel stupid and boss me around? I'm in the exact same spot I was before I met you, dude. Doug paused and licked his lips.
Okay, maybe we got off on the wrong foot.
He said with a placating tone, to which Remy scoffed.
But you can't remain unbound to a master. I'm starting to think that that's asking for trouble.
Remy was ready to snap back, but whatever he would have said was lost as his gaze caught on the lanky figure that melted into existence at the end of the bridge, standing just where it had been the last time Remy had encountered it. Remy took a step back, preparing to run once more. The creature's voice rang out.
Halt, boy.